Hello, I'm Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity and creator of Bogash Life and Balance. And today we're going to talk about something that most people are aware of, but they may not pay attention to, or maybe they pay attention to too much. And that has to do with pesticides in our fruits and vegetables, our produce in general, as well as whether we should buy organic or not, because typically it's a lot more expensive. Of course, if you grow it in your backyard, it's pretty much organic, or you know exactly what you put into there. But we've known for a long time that there are differences in pesticide levels in people that eat organic versus non. I have always referred to Environmental Working Group, EWG.org, who were the first ones to put out the Dirty Dozen and Clean 12. The list is now expanded, but the fruits and vegetables, the produce that has the most amount of pesticides and the group that has the least amount of pesticides. I will certainly put a link to them in the description, but it's always, this is one organization that you should absolutely follow because they have a lot of fantastic information. But so let me get to this study first. So we know that organic fruits and vegetables, not only just the pesticides, but they're also more likely to have different levels of phytonutrients, like the protective compounds, as well as certain minerals or vitamins in them. But that's because non-organic stuff has to fend for itself. Using blueberries as an example, that dark pigment in blueberries that is good for us is essentially a sunscreen. And if they're shaded and they got this nice, like, just picture the blueberry growing under they've got a canopy, a little shade tree, maybe a drink with an umbrella. There's some little cabana boy they're not going to grow strong and protective. They have to be fighting for themselves. That's why, like, wild blueberries may not have the same sweetness as full-grown, conventionally grown blueberries, but they are going to have more power and protective effect. That's even above and beyond the amount of pesticides that they have on them. So there's a variety of reasons why the organic may be better. So in this study, very large, they followed for a number of years 160,000 people, almost 161,000, mostly women but also men, and they looked at the risk of all-cause mortality in people who ate produce that had lower pesticide residues. So if they had 4 or more of these servings of fruits or vegetables per day, on average they had a 36% lower risk of dying from anything called all-cause mortality. So clearly those fruits and vegetables the organic fruits and vegetables, and I shouldn't even say organic, just low pesticide fruits and vegetables had a pretty strong impact on protecting against risk of death, which is generally cancer, heart disease, stroke. Those are high on the list. The ones that did not stick with the low pesticide residues produce had a 7% all-cause mortality. So still protective, but not even nearly in the same ballpark. So that's where, like, when I shop, I look at I use the Environmental Working Group's list of it's not the Dirty Dozen and Clean 12 anymore, but looking at foods that are higher on the pesticide list, like peppers, apples, grapes, those are the ones that I'm going to spend more money buying organic. However, if it's on the low end of the spectrum where there's not a lot of pesticide residues, like pineapple, it doesn't always make that much sense to buy it organic unless the price difference is really minimal. Another thing I do need to say that coffee and tea are not on these lists, but those are notoriously high in pesticide residues. And so we always try to do organic coffee when possible, unless we're going to Starbucks, who does not use organic. And tea, we try to do 95% of the tea that we drink is unsweetened, flavored, organic when possible. So we stick with that, especially in the coffee and teas. Those are important as well. So as always, I'll post a link to both EWG in the description and this study. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.